You don't need to. Yesterday I got this one. Earlier I was using the laptop. You don't need to. Hmm. So,
Hello, sir.
hey guys.
Hello, sir. Good evening,
Why are
sir.
you using this background?
Hmm. Come again?
Why are you using this background?
Hmm.
And what are you doing in the lab, sir?
Set a lag.
Take one, guys. Anybody who comes to the physical class today will be lucky. Adnan. Adnan. He has never joined. He has never joined online, I think. He has come once or twice, maybe. Adnan was here once, maybe. One day I asked you to join online, only for the discussion. Yeah. So, we are going to. Mhm. Find out. But you will not be able to be wearing the camera. Yeah, because you are here. Let me remove the background so that this is better. All right, people. So I asked you the question, what do you think about the story? Do you think it is um yeah, good for children? A good story to tell children. Is it a good story to tell young kids? Will it have a good impact on them? Or it is a bad story for young kids? It will not have a good impact on them. If it will not have a good impact on them, in what way? So I asked you to write your opinion. And I received some people's answers only yesterday itself, only yesterday. Um,
We have to write the answer or just discussion in the class?
I know some people would definitely say that. You didn't write your answers. You
You
sent,
haven't asked us.
you also sent, you did, Sumit. Who else?
I
I
just think
want,
about that.
I want your opinion in the writing first, and then we will have a discussion as well. How many
No.
people believe that it is a good story to tell young kids? But then how do you decide what is good, what is bad? If it depends on children, then if you know the children. Uh, uh, okay. So you could say it this way, that the story teaches some brutal facts and reality of life, but it is also true that some children are
Sir,
so
your voice
sensitive.
is low.
It is also true that some children are so sensitive that they can't handle reality until they grow up quite old. Some children can handle harsh realities of life,
Yes,
like
sir.
death and other things, at a much younger age. Hello, Yasmin ma'am. Hello, Simran.
Sir. Hello, sir.
But
Good evening.
some children, they need to grow up much older to be able to handle it properly. Otherwise, it can scar them. It can damage them emotionally, psychologically. It is true. So we need to be careful about who we are telling the story. This is what you're saying.
Good evening,
Hmm.
sir.
They're not as sensitive as children of the old times. I mean, from your age or from your generation. Hello, Sanjeev. And, I would like to have you guys on camera if it is not a big hassle for you all, because that way I feel more confident that everybody is listening to me with the same focus and intensity that I would like them to listen to me with.
So may I say something?
Uh-huh.
So from my
On
side,
camera. On camera.
sorry, but my phone is on charging and
Okay.
battery low, so that's why I want to tell this to give me permission to off my camera.
Right. Sarah Baba.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
sir, I have a question and I think I'm confused. There is a sentence, a lady came inside with a baby whom or who had just swallowed a coin. I
Could you
think
just,
who is,
you're talking about who or whom?
yeah,
Let me tell you something. In modern English, there is no distinction, and people prefer the word who in all places. Whom is kind of obsolete. People don't use it anymore. However, in exams, in Indian
yeah,
exams, sometimes there are questions where you have to choose between who and whom. The choice is simple. Who is the subject and whom is the object?
yeah.
So it is a choice between I or me, he or him. So depending on the context, you can decide. Now, could you please read the sentence one more time?
A lady came inside with a baby who or whom had just swallowed a coin.
Who had? So because
Who
the
had,
child had stolen a coin.
actually, sir, uh, I was scrolling my Facebook on my phone. So I just showed up a video and I started watching that video. And a lady, a teacher, uh, she explained who and whom. So one sentence he wrote correct. I don't remember yet, but the second one, so she was saying whom is prefer as a object. So she was teaching whom is correct one here.
The child had stolen a coin. The child
So
is the subject here. You need
I
a pronoun
noticed.
which is the subject in the subjective case. So the child had stolen a coin. Who had stolen a coin?
So I noticed that time that was wrong sentences. So that's why I confirmed for you.
Yeah, great, ma'am. Only one suggestion. If you're watching any online content and if you find anything worth discussing, save the link so that we can share it with other people in the group and they can
Yes,
watch and see.
I'll save that video. I will send you WhatsApp. May I should send you, sir?
You sure, ma'am? Sure, ma'am. No problems. By the way, the difference between who and whom is the same as the difference between I and me, the difference between he and him. Because what is the difference between he and him? He is the subject, him is the object. Who is the subject? Whom is the object? It is also worth mentioning that this distinction between who and whom is almost invisible now, and people don't care. In communication, colloquially, they don't use the word who at all. Even native speakers don't use the word who at all unless they are old-fashioned people who want to maintain something they learned in their childhood and they find it difficult to get rid of it, the habit. So this sentence, who do you live with? Think about it. in the old times, this sentence was not correct. In the old times, the sentence was, with whom do you live? Because you is the subject here. You can't use who when who is not the subject. But in modern English, this is more common. Who do you live with? Rather than with whom do you live? I'm not saying with whom do you live is wrong. Actually, in exams, it is more correct. But colloquially, it sounds old-fashioned. So I hope I have explained it properly to you. The difference between who and whom is not important unless you are preparing for an exam. And the difference is very simple. He and him, you never ask which one you need because you know him is the object. Whom is the objective case. So if you need a pronoun for an object, then you will use whom. For example, I saw a girl blank space had borrowed. Okay, not a girl. I would rather I saw the girl blank space had borrowed money from me. Okay, or the money from me. Now tell me here who or whom is better. I saw the girl blank space had borrowed the money from me. Who? Because the girl had borrowed. The girl is a subject. So who had borrowed the money from me? I'll give another example. Don't use your reasoning mind that, okay, sir has already asked a question about who, so the next question will be about whom. Don't do that. Listen to the sentence carefully and then decide. A lot of children do that. Okay. The sentence is, I will give this pen to someone, blank space, will need it more than me. I will give this pen to someone, blank space, needs this pen more than me.
Who need this pen more than me?
Obviously,
Hello.
Zafre, right? Yeah. Okay. Because the person needs this pen. Okay. Okay. So you have to just ask yourself, it's not a difficult thing at all. I was wondering why Yasmin ma'am was watching that video. A lot of my students say to me, Yasmin ma'am, that they have
Oh, no,
realized
sir. I didn't watch intensely. Actually, it's
it
sort
just,
of
yeah,
that's why.
and you started watching, perhaps the girl was wearing something nice, that caught your attention. I'm just kidding. Okay. Ladies, observe these things of other women as well, the clothes they wear, the jewelry they wear. I mean, we look at the face, maybe sometimes their appearance a little bit, not the clothes and the jewelry. Hmm. Rosanna. Hello, Tani.
Good evening, sir. Hello,
Good
sir.
evening. So, Tani, what's up?
Yes, sir.
क्या कर रहे हो? कुछ कर रहे हो?
Hello,
Yeah,
what are you saying, sir?
I was just asking what's up. I was asking how you doing.
Nothing. I'm
Dancing around with your husband in the park, in the gardens, and making reels.
You watched my reel, sir.
Yeah,
Sir is suggesting you.
no, Yasmin man, I'm not. Actually, I saw that. I saw her
Okay.
dancing around with her husband, in the park. And what was the song, Tani?
It's not a dancing, sir.
You were dancing.
Only walking, sir.
Okay. There was so much rhythm in your walk that it felt like, dance. Sometimes I'm too much. Okay.
I
All
feel very
right. Okay, let's see. Where were we? Vocabulary and speaking. Okay, guys, we have already finished this story. Um, I really, really believe this story, hits the nail on the head, that there are a lot of things that people
So what's
believe.
your opinion?
Sorry, Kushi.
What's your opinion?
My opinion is children will become anything you want them to become. I don't remember the name of that psychologist who said, parapsychologist, give me your child and I'll make it whatever you want him to be. Doesn't matter. He valued nurture more than nature. There are two things that shapes our person. There are two things that shape our personality: nature and nurture. And that person believed that nurture had a much, much bigger say on our personality than nature. And I also believe it is very true. Our instincts can be curbed by, certain kind of upbringing, nurturing. We can change. Some people become more violent because of the place where they live. Some people become less violent because of the kind of life they live. Our own personality changes depending on the kind of people we are with. We are not the same kind of person when we are with different groups of people. So how do you not agree that nurture has a bigger role in the way we behave, in the way we act? So personally, I would say that unfortunately, parents don't feel confident, parents, it is a very slow process, this change. It is an obvious fact. Parents project their beliefs, their ideologies on their children. They want their children to carry those ideologies forward because they believe in this so strongly. I know it for a fact that all the people who are religious have a feeling for their religion. They feel inside their hearts. They also know it is a feeling only. Okay. They know it is not a fact that can be proven. But this feeling is so strong. It's like, when you like a girl and you say she loves me and you start to believe she loves you, but you have never even talked to her, but you start to believe strongly that she loves you. And you see so many signs. People try to convince you that it is just your make believe. Okay. You're living in a dream world. She doesn't care about you. She has a boyfriend, but you don't listen to those people. You keep believing that she loves me.
And they will, after
You realize it in a very bad way. That
then
it
will become sad.
yeah. Similarly, parents also have this feeling, a strong feeling, and it gives them such a comfort zone. They don't want to get out of it, and they put their children unintentionally in the same comfort zone. Some, children take after their parents in these things. If parents are very strong believers, mostly in most cases children will also become very strong believers in most cases. Why? Because it is very hard to fight your nurture, the upbringing you have got. It is very difficult to fight the effects of it. It becomes your identity. I will not talk about religion because it is controversial. I'll talk about names. So, Khushi, you consider yourself Khushi, but are you really Khushi? Am I really Vinay? It is just a convenience. My parents called me Vinay, and I started to believe it is Vinay. I'm Vinay, and when people say Vinay, I turn around. But I could have been Rakesh. I could have been Sonu. I could have been Rahul. I could have been Amarjeet. I could have been anything. Am I Vinay? But I am somebody. My feelings are real. The way I feel about things and people, that's real. Okay. Again, how much of it is because of the place where I've grown up? How much of it is because of the people I have grown up with? I have to know. I have to understand. And this is called self awareness. When you realize how much of your personality is your own and how much of it is just a layer you have borrowed from people around you. Some people try to understand these things, they're interested, and some of us feel so uncomfortable even thinking about it that we discard this thought saying it's all nonsense, bullshit. We don't even want to think about these things. Some of us feel uncomfortable, we are weak. I often give this example, analogy, when you realize that the bus is running and there is a old driver, you consider him, mature and sensible. You sit on your place and relax and listen to songs. And then somebody comes and tells you the bus doesn't have a driver, it's running on its own. And then you start to panic. Although there is no reason for you, the bus is still running smoothly, but you start to panic. No, no, no. The bus can't be without the driver. So some people grow up thinking that this world is that bus that is being run by Almighty God. And when somebody tries to tell them that no, that idea doesn't make sense, then they think, oh, the bus without the driver? No, 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 no. Stupid idea. When you're sitting on the bus, you can go and find out whether the driver is there in the seat or not. But unfortunately, this bus has a big black curtain between you and the bus driver. You have to believe that there is a bus driver driving. That's it. You will never get to see that bus driver. You will only believe there is a bus driver driving. And, it makes some people comfortable. It makes some people feel more relaxed in their lives. Some people need it. Some people need this feeling. Somebody like me doesn't feel all depressed and worried and anxious, realizing, oh, we are all used, in this world by chance and whatever, there is no meaning after life, or there is no meaning for this life, whatever meaning we give, there is no actual purpose. These things don't bother me. But there are a lot of sensitive souls that you said, sensitive children who will not be ready for the harsh reality of life. So there are a lot of individuals in this world who feel very uncomfortable with this. Huh? This world has no purpose? हम ऐसे मर जाएंगे, खत्म कहानी. We will never get to see our grandfather. We will never get to see our papa, mummy. Or somebody's child has died young at a young age. आप उससे उसको छीन ले रहे. You're taking away their consolation that they will someday meet their child again. You're saying, no, it will never happen. The story is over. It is very discomforting for a lot of people. I don't want to. Sometimes I float this idea, just to test the waters, if people are strong enough to understand. However, a lot of times I'm misunderstood, because the stronger your belief in your religion is, the more negatively you will listen to me, because you will think I'm against you. You will feel that way. I'm sorry about it, but you will feel that way. I'm sorry. But this is why I don't talk about it now, because I know, again, I am very, very sure, because the stories don't add up. You will say, "Aapko pata hai, aap dekhe hai." Nahi. But here in this story, one thing was certain. People don't run to save somebody, rescue somebody in trouble, because that person is good. This much is true. So we can say that the story she was telling was not very sensible. So similarly, you guys, all those people who believe in Almighty and Almighty's interventions, divine interventions, you all believe in divine interventions. God came and did this. God saved that person this way. But then you will not be able to explain why a couple of 1,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, these things were happening. And suddenly God stopped making interventions. Divine interventions have stopped. The most religious people, okay, there is the point, but who will talk like this? Somebody, if you have always been told the stories that your parents believe in as a non-questionable thing, that you cannot even question it. If you have been prohibited from questioning these things, in the comfort of our household, our own family, sometimes we can ask the most stupid questions. For example, I know children asking their moms, Bhagwan ko kaun banaya? God को कौन बनाया, Allah को कौन बनाया, and mothers simply not answering the questions. And I also know mothers slapping the children for asking such questions. Both the things happen. Now, do you think both the children will react the same way after this experience? No. So, children should be made aware of the harsh realities of the world. But I also understand that some children will not be able to handle it. They are just not strong enough. Why? Were they born weak? No, 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 no. They were not born weak. They were made weak. Yeah. Okay. So you have to be careful when you're dealing with patients, addicted patients, you have to be careful. If somebody is addicted to certain drugs, you don't stop them altogether. Doctors know better ways how they can get them out of that addiction. But if you are a little careless, if you're a little hasty, then you can damage them with the good intentions of helping them. So initially, I didn't realize it. Honestly speaking, I'm a stupid person. I learn a lot of things very slowly. When I first made up my mind about these things, I started to realize my initial discussions were only with the people who believed in my religion, honestly speaking. Okay, I didn't have any interest in talking to people who didn't believe
So
in.
that you can question back them.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
you will have answers.
Yeah, exactly. I used to discuss things with the people who believed in Hinduism only. For a long time. Yeah, discontinued. It was okay to a certain extent. But the day when I started discussing these things with other people's religion, oh my God, I became a villain. Because they took it as an attack, as an invasion. They didn't understand my intentions. I was trying to understand the way they think. I was trying to make sense because I believe they are as sensible and logical as I am. Where is the problem? How can they agree with the wrong answer when they're as intelligent as me? Suppose there is a reasoning question, 5 options are given. All 4 wrong options look correct from a certain point of view. But then those who are really logical, they come to the same answer. This is the right answer. Then why some other people who are as intelligent as me, why are they choosing another answer? Can't they see there is a problem with that answer? So to understand that, I used to have discussions. But then I didn't realize how heavy this topic was. I was stupid. I called myself stupid. It's a heavy word. Trust me. Okay. It's not a light word to describe somebody. And I'm calling myself stupid because I was actually, because I didn't understand the price I had to pay for doing this, bringing out such topics and such conversations. I was given such a.
They were so extremist in their beliefs.
They were so committed that they took it not as a discussion to understand things.
A threat on their.
Yeah, as an invasion, that I was attacking them. So, yeah, my opinion, children should be made aware about the harsh realities. Unless you realize where you are, what you're doing, again, you will not be able to act the right way. Yesterday, I acknowledged that these are stories that you do the right thing because God will take note of this good thing, I'm pretty sure it was done with the intention to encourage people to do the right thing. But human nature. What happened? You were told go to Ganga Snan because you will, become more. What is that? You will get rid of your sins. Do those, pilgrimage. Go and visit certain places that you believe are holy, because it will salvage you. It will save you from all the sins you have committed. What did people do? They started committing more sins because they thought there was a license. They would go there and get rid of their sins. Do all the bad things and then go and say sorry. So human beings are special. We are all very, clever and selfish. So we cleverly find ways to be selfish. Like you might have heard, it is worth mentioning here the way we are living in India. Imagine there is a society in this world where there are people who run shops which do not ask people to pay. There are things kept there. People who need go and take. But still, a lot of people don't go to those shops. Why I'm mentioning this here? Because in India, if you open such a shop, what will happen? Overnight, everything will be taken away. But in the same world, that on this earth, there is a part of the world where there are shops where people can go and take things without paying anything. In Canada as well.
Keep the price and there is no yes, they just keep the
Money,
money on the
take the stuff and leave. How come? How did they reach to that level of honesty and understanding? What happened? They must be the most religious people, but they are actually not very religious, and still they are acting so purely. Why? What is their motivation? Because they are sensible children who have realized what actually helps them make this life a better experience, not for themselves, for everybody else.
yeah, become like those countries.
Someday we have to, and we will. The process might be slow, but we have to, because that's the eventual place we have to reach. Human beings are destined to reach there.
We have so much of diversity, I think.
Doesn't matter. Diversity in our beliefs. But what we want, do you want your mom to be insulted by other people? Anybody? Despite the diversity? Everybody has the same opinion. They don't want their moms to be insulted. So, despite the diversity, there are certain things which are very, very common. Yeah. We are not up there in terms of evolution. We haven't evolved as much. And that's because of the surroundings we are living in. There is so much of loot, around us, that we are also looting it whenever we are getting the chance.
They become selfish.
Oh, I thought diversity in terms of identity diversity.
Not only that,
Hmm.
because of difference in their believing everything, they become
No, it is not the reason. The reason is something else. Because only 75 years ago, we were very, very poor people. Okay, so the scars are very much alive. We still remember what our grandfathers did. They still tell us stories that this was our situation. So we don't want our grandchildren to feel that way. And that's why we are a little more desperate to secure their future. And in the process, we are crossing the line and becoming dishonest and everything. Yeah. If you think about, for 10 generations, you haven't had any problems and you don't see any threat to that comfort zone you have had, why would you change the way you believe? Yes.
Improvement.
Yes, exactly. So there are a lot of societies in this world which are living life in a different way, and not because of any fear of Almighty, okay, or not because of any rewards they want. They think it is just the right way to live because it makes life a better experience for everybody. You will find some teachers running classes differently. Some teachers use sticks, some teachers use conversation to discipline their children. So depends, children who are disciplined with the sticks definitely, become indisciplined the moment the stick is gone. But when you discipline somebody with conversations, that discipline becomes part of their personality. So people need to learn these things again. I'm very optimistic, no matter what happens. I'm still very optimistic about human beings, and I know eventually we will all become like that. A time will come when we will not be robbing other people, will not be stealing things from other people. We will understand that we are here for only a limited time period, and we have to make sure that everybody has a good experience while they are here on this planet. That's it. Because life is so temporary, it is such a small part. If you look at everything else, the grand things, then we are here for such a short time. And what we are doing, we are actually unknowingly making everybody's experience bad. In my previous class, I was saying that people need more freedom. Society needs to allow people more personal space. When I say this, I am also aware, but there are societies which have more space and they're also going in the wrong direction. Take America, for example. Okay.
So much of freedom that there is an and do.
Yes. And people are more unhappy in certain ways, like mental issues, emotional issues. They are a bigger problem there than in societies like ours. It's a very difficult thing to balance, I will say. But again, it gives me confidence that there are societies where people are not so greedy. They can get something for free, but they're ready to pay for it because they believe that there are other people who might need it. And they are so selfless that they're thinking about them and they're not insecure about their future. Okay, tell me, will you ever fight for water if you know that every day you will have 200 liters of water for you delivered at your home? Will you ever fight for water? No. So that is the problem. When you don't have that security, and governments play a big role here. If you get out of job, this is the fear a lot of people have. What happens if my husband dies? What happens if my father is no more? His father will think, what happens if I die? Who will take care of my children? So when you have such thoughts, then they motivate you to sometimes take the wrong path as well to secure your family's future. People are earning 70,000 rupees salary, but still taking bribe. Why? Because they are not very sure that this is going to last. Yeah. Greed is a thing, of course, but again, I mean, what do you think? Today, people are more greedy, or people in the past were more greedy? Think about it. You might say today people are more greedy. Okay. Well, from a certain point of view, it does appear that way, that people today are more greedy. Okay. But I personally think people in the past were greedier. Their number was smaller, but they were certainly a lot greedier than today. How many people do you know today who go and kill people to take their money? They're greedy, okay. They are doing all sorts of things to accumulate wealth. I agree. But are they killing people to take their wealth? Are they going to kill them? Are they doing it? In the past, it happened or not? People came on horses, killed other people, and took their wealth. It was a common occurrence or not? And still, people say today people are greedier. So, I mean, it depends on the way you look at the picture. Maybe we'll ignore this point, thinking, oh, some people did it. For a lot of people, there was no question of being greedy because they were destined to just be peasants. Peasants, the people who would grow food, basically, or make a few stuff like, wooden things and stuff. They didn't have so many jobs. The middle class didn't exist in the past. There were the the rulers, and there were the people who were ruled. That's it. There were a few people in the middle, just, intermediaries who worked between the kings, the rulers, and the common people. Some, that's it. Yeah. Aristocrats. Yeah. But today we have a middle class, and this middle class is full of aspiration and also insecure. So there is naturally some corruption, greed in these people. So, don't know. I say a lot of things in a very, what should I say, unorganized manner because, of course, I was not prepared that I was going to answer. So don't expect me to, write an essay orally. Okay. Anyways, I will always have this opinion because I have come to this conclusion over my deliberations and all, okay, that the world is a better place today. Despite all the imperfections we see today in the world, it is much better than it was in the past, and it is going to be better tomorrow. People, demand more transparency. Everywhere you see, people are creating systems which ensure transparency. These cameras everywhere. Why? Why do you have to be in private? Why can't you be in front of the camera? Someday, there would be no problem if people are kissing on the road. Okay. You know what I mean? Why I'm saying this? You see, you're being watched, so some people say, oh, no, 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 I'm being seen, I'm being watched. There are cameras here. So what? You're not doing it against somebody's will. That person and you want to kiss each other and it will make you happy. Go ahead. It doesn't make anybody unhappy. I know when I say it today, for people like Adnan will say, Hare Ram, ganda ganda baat kar rahe hain." ठीक है, I understand. It's okay. कोई बात नहीं. It's okay. Khushi, have you fallen asleep already? So let's see.
No,
Vocabulary and speaking, feelings. Please don't forget to write down your opinions, people. I would like to know what you guys think.
Or just get started.
Hmm,
I
hmm.
wanted to know this word technically. How to technically, I have heard it often.
A lot of people use words like technically, practically, literally in a very wrong ways. These words are just their habits. They insert them everywhere.
To look
Yeah, maybe, or it is just their habit. Some people on purpose do it to look cool, of course, but a lot of people just have a habit of using these words. Like in Hindi, you have habits of using certain words all the time. I'm pretty sure I also have my own, idiosyncrasies, my own habits, of using certain words without a good reason for using them. So everybody does it. Most people have this problems, habits. So technically means technically, Okay. The sentence, do I say technically? So the technique, if you look at the technique there, technique is a word, okay? And I don't know how to explain this word. If you have a sentence, I can explain a little better, but I'm just saying, okay. Later, a bit later. Fine. Vocabulary and speaking, feelings. Which of these feelings are positive, which are negative? Let's look at some of these adjectives here. These are all adjectives, okay? But they all express feelings, right? How you're feeling. If you're angry, you're feeling positive or negative? Okay.
Negative.
So nervous, in between, but mainly negative. Okay. Delighted, positive. Stressed, negative, of
Negative.
course. Disappointed, negative. Upset, negative.
Negative.
Homesick, negative. If you don't know homesick, when you're away from home for some time and you're missing home, you're feeling upset. You want to come home, then you're feeling homesick. Jealous, negative. Proud, positive.
Okay.
Scared,
Negative.
negative. Amazed, positive. Lonely, I'm
Negative.
homesick today. Oh, Khushi, you're feeling homesick already. Only 2 days ago, you came back to your hostel. Lonely, negative. Lonely is negative. Okay. Which of the feelings in one describe how the people feel in situations A to J? Sometimes more than one is possible. Look at picture B. Which adjective do you want to use? Positive, of course. Okay. So they're delighted. They are amazed, maybe, but mainly they are delighted.
Delighted.
Maybe proud. They did something. Okay. Yeah. Okay. C. He's wiping his sweat with his hanky. Yeah. Nervous, stressed.
Nervous.
Yeah. Before your interview.
outside.
Outside. Yeah. Sitting outside, feeling nervous and stressed. D. What about this man? Stressed. Scared.
Angry.
Angry. Well, I'll stay with the word stressed. I don't know if fathers get angry when they have to. Maybe some do. Some do get angry. What about this picture A? Homesick. E. How is she feeling? Amazed. Delighted. Amazed. F. Proud. Very clearly, right? Delighted. The father is delighted. Very happy. G. Angry. H. Jealous. Take a look. Take a look at the way she's looking at his phone. Who is texting you? Is it her again? Jealous. What makes people feel jealous? Is it a natural feeling, or because of your situation you feel more jealous?
Because of situation.
We are able to stop it, so it is not natural. Okay, think about it. All your childhood, your mother made you feel that you are unwanted. Okay, or your father made you feel you are unwanted. Okay, don't you think it will affect the rest of the relationships you will make in your life? Because if that person for a moment
Yes.
ignores you, you will start to feel that perhaps I'm unwanted again. But if all your childhood you were made to feel very special, then it is maybe possible that you don't feel like I can be ignored. So even if my wife or husband is talking to somebody else, I'm still her husband, I'm still his wife. He's talking to somebody for maybe some other reason. You know, a lot of couples quarrel over unnecessary reasons, trivial. Okay, why did she message you? Why? What do you mean? Why did he call you? If somebody goes out to work, they will have a social circle or not. A lot of times, the fights between husbands and wives are not really very good logical fights. They just show or reflect one person's insecurity. That's it. And the other person's inability to handle that insecurity.
They can feel you either in the relationship goes well, you will be happy, and if it doesn't go well, you will learn this. That,
But instead of learning, they develop bad perceptions. For example, if one girl cheats a guy, he starts to believe girls are disloyal, untrustworthy. That's the problem. They don't learn a lesson. They make perceptions. If a guy cheats a girl, in a lot of cases, the girl develops a feeling that guys are not trustworthy. Next time, she's more nervous about it.
most of the guys, like,
Hmm.
when they get cheated, they often be crying.
Exactly. A lot of times girls are killed in a relationship too. Acid attack, direct killing. Which countries are most infamous for, wives killing? Do you know? Which countries have Sweden, Norway, Finland? These countries are most infamous for killing women in a relationship. Differently. Yeah, answer the question. Which countries have the highest rate of wives killing? Okay. Which countries have the highest rate of wife killing? It's not working. Check your microphone and okay. Then somebody else can ask the Google maybe on their phone. Let me try. Which countries have the highest rate of wife killing? Killings of women and girls by their intimate partner or other family members. United Nations has, released some data. Huh? Okay, make a guess. Make a guess. I know this the information that UN has shared. Can you guess which countries would be on the top of the list? No. As far as I know, it is going to be Turkey. Turkey is most infamous for spouse killing, wives killing. Men there are so passionate, they can't handle it. Some 47,000 women and girls worldwide were killed by their intimate partners or other family members. How many? 47,000 women in 2020. 47,000 women were killed. Men commit suicide and we try to take revenge by killing them. Women and girls in all regions across the world are affected by this type of gender-based violence. And with an estimated 18,600 victims, Asia is the region with the highest numbers of victims. वो तो होना ही था. Yeah. Women and girls account for only 1/10 of all homicide victims perpetrated in the public sphere. Yet I'm unable to read it because my eyes, they bear a disproportionate burden of lethal violence perpetrated in the home. In 58% of all killings perpetrated by intimate partners of other family members, the victim was a woman or girl. Okay, I will share this with you guys so that you can read more details of these things. So Asia, and Turkey is part of Asia. So when it comes to wife killing, the biggest number will come from Turkey. I know it. And again, honor killing and these things are more common in Asian countries. Hmm. Hmm. These countries will also feature there for sure. These countries will feature there for sure. Now, what does it tell you? If you guys were presented this kind of information, what does it tell you? If tomorrow somebody tells you that women enjoy better life in Asia or women enjoy better life in Europe, and what would you say? Yes, maybe you will say, okay, they don't cover their body and these things, but still, they're not being killed there. They are being killed in Asia, where they are more covered. Who has a problem? Women who are not covering their body up or men? Ask again. If you have such data in front of you and you still do not realize where the real problem lies, tell me, who is more naked from your perspective, guys? Asian women or European women? I'm sorry, I'm using the word naked here. I don't personally agree, but this is what traditional people in India say. Traditional people in India and Pakistan say that European women are more naked, right? We Indians, Pakistanis cover our bodies, women cover their bodies fully. Why is there so much crime in Asia then against women? Hmm. 8:30 already. Okay. Guys, this will be your homework now. You have to complete the sentences with your own ideas, tell a partner, and which of the feelings we did this. Okay. This page will be your homework, of course. Other than writing your opinion about why the story that the man told was good for children and why it was bad for children. Your opinion, whatever you think. Okay, we have some data here Singh Saab has shared. Here are some countries with the highest reported femicide rates. Okay, Honduras, El Salvador. One of the highest in Latin America. You're talking about young girls being killed, yeah. You're not sharing data about women being killed by their spouse. Jealous partners kill their partners, jealous husbands and boyfriends kill their partners. This case is different from girls being killed because the families don't want girls. We call it like, bad sex ratio. We of course see that in countries like Africa and female feticide. Okay. So that's a different story. Here we are looking at a particular angle. Men, when they are in a relationship with women, they feel insecure, they feel bad about the relationship, and their reaction is kill the girl, kill the woman. She would be nobody's. Yeah. She would be nobody's. She would be nobody's.
In
Huh.
relationship, sometimes women also kill the man.
Sometimes, yes, some women have more male tendencies. They behave the same way.
Women aspect of
Yes, exactly. So let's wrap up now and we'll continue tomorrow. Don't forget to do your homework, people. Okay. Bye-bye. Take care. Thank you.
Okay. Good night,
Bye-bye.
sir.
Bye-bye.